We're going to have a look at race number 10 now for you. Final race on the programme at Sha Tin, and one of two races on the all-weather as well. This is a Class 2 over the 1650 with some of our very best dirt horses going round. Field headed by Elusive State, a 7-time course and distance winner. Beaten favourite though behind Glorious Artist last time out. King Shield coming out of that race. Glorious Artist was ridden by Zach Purton that day. Vincent Ho jumps on board because Zach switches to Hong Kong Great. Congratulations out of the Derby, his first try on the all-weather here over the 1650. Sunshine Warrior, 3-time winner over the trip, but at Happy Valley. Best Lamb up in class, should roll forward from barrier number 14. Bigwood second up from a long break, and Righteous Doctrine, all his wins have been over the 1800 metres so far. Right, so as far as the speed is concerned here, Tom, for our final event, a couple of horses that like to roll forward, but one in particular I think would be pretty keen to find the front, and that horse is Hong Kong Great. Yeah, he should be able to get to the front from gate number 5 here, Andrew, with Zach Purton on board. But the question is, Paul, does King Shield try and take over, and is Hong Kong Great a good enough horse to potentially hand up and take the trail?
Well, no, I think he's better if he leads, because his wins has been when he leads. So if King Shield comes across, Highland Fortune has drawn wide as well. He's another one that can come across and put pace on, and so can Bear Slam. Now, Bear Slam's a little bit iffy at the start, but if he jumps, they'll go forward with him as well. So I reckon there's going to be extra pace in this race. I think it'll be good to fast. You'd
like to end up with Bigwood back on the inside there. Berlin Tango's the odd one out, caught a little wide there from gate number 11. Righteous Doctrine and Pressure Ship will do what they normally do, and they'll get back in the run, Andrew. All right, so some potential variation there, but Hong Kong Great probably the one to find the front. Before we get into some of the key races here, let's get a wrap on the race with Ed.
Thank you, Andrew. It's a really good race to finish up the program with on Saturday afternoon, the Class 2 over 1650 metres. Let's start our discussion of the race with Red Desert, who's such an honest horse and was able to break through for a deserved win last time out.
Yeah, the 1200 metres on the dirt track, he seems to relish that. That's his race. The 1650s, he's always struggled a little bit at the distance. But still, it's the correct surface for him, and one day he might get away with one at 1650.
So the distance is obviously a query, but given his consistency, do you think he'll still run a competitive race?
Yeah, he'll run well. He always does. Just the last 200 metres of the race, he doesn't seem to have the stamina to finish it off and get prize money. But the surface works in his favour, and one day he might.
While we're on John's size, John heads into the meeting with a 1-win lead in the trainer's title over Casper Founds. There's only a couple of months left of the season, but John isn't getting carried away about where things sit in the title at this stage.
Well, I've never been sort of confident about winning a championship, but there seems to be, there's 5 trainers that are in striking distance, and I think anyone could win at this point.
Back to Saturday's race, though, and another runner of interest in the contest is Congratulations from the Douglas White stable. This will be just his 3rd run in Hong Kong and his first since he contested the Derby last time out.
Yeah, look, he had some time off. He went to Chung Fa, freshened him up. He had a lovely trial 10 days ago, and he's indicated to me that he enjoys the surface.
So is that why you picked out this race for him?
Oh, there's very few races for a horse with his handicap, but it was one of the reasons. He seems to have trialled well in them. He works well with me on in the mornings, so that was the main reason. And there's very few of these dirt races with that particular rating.
So there are a couple of runners in the race, Andrew. Red Desert and Congratulations. They're going to have to be at their very best, though, because they'll take on Hong Kong Great, who, in my opinion, is the best dirt horse currently in Hong Kong. And they're also against some tried and tested performers over this course and distance, the likes of Elusive State, King Shield and Glorious Artist.
There you go. Big statement from Ed then as far as Hong Kong Great is concerned. We can have a look at him, guys, as well in the first of our replays here. We'll take it from the start because the start is all important, Tom. Now, the winner of this race is Glorious Artist. There's a whole host of them coming out here, but so you can see Hong Kong Great. He eventually finishes in 3rd place, but how wide he's drawn on this occasion, gets in a little bit closer. Pressure Ship slightly hidden there. He actually ran 2nd. Elusive State down the inside. King Shield doesn't seem to be in his normal form. He ran 5th. Red Desert, we heard from John's size. He's tucked away somewhere in the middle there. There he is, just on the outside of Glorious Artist. And Righteous Doctrine as well, a regular. So I suppose the thing to take out of it from here is Hong Kong Great's going to get an easier run of things from the start.
Absolutely, because this time round he had to do a power of work and he didn't really get across and get into a suitable position probably till I reckon the 750 or 700 metres, whereas in comparison here, Paul, Glorious Artist, it was a good ride from Zach Purton, summed the situation up from barrier number 9 and was able to find a good spot near the rail and in the end to slice through between runners.
Yeah, look, when he's won his 2 races, Hong Kong Great, he's had the sole lead every time. So the barrier draw is definitely going to help him here down on the inside. It's just whether these horses drawn wide really want to press it early for him. If he gets a soft lead in front, he's going to be very tough to beat.
You can see Elusive State, he just knocked up over the final stages there, and I certainly agree around John's size there with the Red Desert. He just seems to struggle that last sort of 150, 200.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong though with Precious run there either. We're going to have a look at though at Elusive State, Paul. You were quite taken with his track work.
Yeah, look, he really took off from his partner horse here when they asked him to. There was a really good turn of foot. I know he's a 7-year-old now, but he seems to have still got it looking at that. And Hong Kong Great, now he's been very good in his work as well. Nice and quiet. Now, Zach Purton was getting a feel for him here. Of course, he knows the horse well. He has already won on him. But the horse is going well. So if you like him, there's no problems with his work.
All right, well, let's have a look at Berlin Tango, Tom. He's an interesting horse. I thought this was quite a good run from him last time out at Happy Valley. Back on the all-weather, though, now. The other one to consider here is Righteous Doctrine, who's finishing off down the outside.
Yeah, he's getting very close to a class drop now as Righteous Doctrine. We know he's classy when he can be. He's won it 3 times here in Hong Kong. And I thought if there's one to upset the apple cart, it could be Berlin Tango here in this final race. Drawn gate number 11, he's going to go back just wonder how far back he'll get, but if there's quite a bit of pace on, Paul, I can potentially see him running over the top of them at the end.
Look, I put him down in a minor line as well for that exact reason. I personally think there will be lots of pace in this race, and if there is, he is one that'll be finishing fast.
All right, what about the Rock, Paul, and also Sunshine Warrior here back at the trials?
Yeah, the Rock's interesting because he's coming on the surface for the first time. He's by Dutch Art as the Rock, and he generally does work well on it. Again, he's drawn a little bit awkwardly in 10, but he might get the race run to suit. Sunshine Warrior, he's performed, he's only had the 1 start on the all-weather. It didn't go too badly. He ran 5th in that start. He's by Piero, Sunshine Warrior. So I think both horses are really interesting. It's a really high-class field to finish.
Yeah, the Rock just got a little bit keen last time out, but that might have been because there wasn't a lot of pace in that race. That was won by a reliable team, and we know that Sunshine Warrior has gone well fresh in the past. All
right, OK, well, it's at this stage, Hong Kong Great is our favourite, Paul, but you're going against him?
Yeah, look, I think they'll take him on. If they leave him alone, I think you'll win. But I think they'll take him on, especially with these horses drawn wide, and like Highland Fortune, Bear Slam if he jumps, and also you've got Red Desert there and King's Shield. So for that effect, I think Elusive State from barrier 3 can get a nice run just in behind him and overrun him late. So I think that's a Quinella, 1 to beat 7, 3 Glorious Artists, and then Berlin Tango. 1, 7, 3 and 10.
Do like Hong Kong Great in the last. If I think things fall his way, I think it'll be very tough to beat Hong Kong Great. Elusive State didn't mind the run at all of Pressure Ship last time out. He put up a stout performance behind Glorious Artist and Berlin Tango there in on a minor line. 7, 1, 5 and 10.
All right, so I think Hong Kong Great's the one to beat again. They might take him on, but he's got a great constitution.